What's up?
While we're here, it wouldn't hurt if we checked in at the lodge.
I picked up something you might be interested in.
Hey, it's always a good day when you come around.
I'm all for getting a little external.
I can't believe I get to stand here.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Okay. No bounty. Just as
Well, well. Back for more, eh?
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Asylees are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus plant? I knew it. The second I heard that recording, I knew. Why? Did he say why he did it? It takes some deeply twisted logic to think anything did more harm to the Sanan name than him.
So you're telling us that the attack on New Atlantis was Victus's responsibility? Just like the dooming of Londinian? Oh, that's insane. All that, just to help restore the family name. How did he ever think that was going to work?
Well, once we inform the cabinet, they can ensure he won't be able to do anything like this ever again. My hope would be that whatever connections he's got to the outside world disappear. Make sure his future schemes and machinations stay in his cell with him. But honestly, I'm not sure. He's in a unique position, and has done a special kind of harm to the colonies. Exactly. Bring justice to everyone he's hurt. So I guess that gives us our final answer. Nothing left to do but head in and see what the cabinet thinks of it all. Unless there was more to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the Terramorphs. It's hard to know. Unlike my father, the cabinet aren't butchers. But killing UC citizens, along with everything else he's done, is unforgivable. But if you're really that concerned, you could request they be lenient. They might be willing to spare him. Asylees aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly. But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so the risk of introducing them to new worlds is minimal. Using them to clean up the Terramorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as the microbe would be. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Asylees, we're at least dealing with known risks. They are.
Microbe needed minimal adjustment to account for heat leech anatomy.
And the Asylees seem like they're even better at tracking leeches than morphs.
Hell of a sight to watch, though, when they catch them. Like an open airlock guzzling angry spaghetti. Microbe is gonna make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math, and a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0. So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to let the cabinet weigh in, see if they have a preference. And here we go.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true? This report comes from a particularly confidential source both you and I are familiar with, yes. Among the reasons its findings are so alarming. Now, is it true? Was the attack on New Atlantis planned?
My God.
An attack? Using terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlays commit these attacks, Captain?
Orlays? It's true, ma'am. I heard the recording myself. My father figured out how to use terramorphs as weapons.
He did what?
That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was gonna end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now, that's quite the accusation you're leveling, considering Francois Sinon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up?
It just transformed. A terramorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this, and said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain.
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this could have happened. Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Vivictus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately. That's truly disconcerting to hear. But cutting off Vivictus's contact with the outside world is likely to be just the beginning of his punishment. That will be up to the cabinet to decide. But I don't appreciate our mercy being taken advantage of. It's well past due. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the 3 of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President.
Well, luckily the natural hostility of Londinian makes keeping out trespassers relatively easy. But we'll ensure its growth is contained. that access to the plant is only permitted via highly regulated clearances, and that our troop presence on Londinian is increased.
Tell the Freestar Collective. Wow. So they have another tool to utilize against us?
I'm in agreement. I fail to see the value here.
Indeed. Open relations at this point would be critical towards maintaining peace.
That is an interesting idea. A grand gesture to further display this cabinet doesn't think like those of the past.
The observers on Mars have proven such a gesture can bear fruit.
So, you want us to make nice with the Collective by sharing our state secrets?
No, I want us to display plainly the UC's actual intentions, that the plant will never be used as a weapon again.
That does sound worthwhile, Chief Kulkarni. Very well. We'll get the Collective involved in the management. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves, but the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter. I believe we have a responsibility to do something, yes. Heavens forbid, years from now, someone reopens the Pandora's box that Victus discovered. It falls to us to enact every measure required to ensure that day never comes.
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into unpredictable sciences.
Here's hoping they'll be kept on a short leash.
That, madam, is most certainly the plan.
Order, please. And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the three of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies, or done great things for its cause. Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is rather impressive. You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sanan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
Be careful if you run into those ecliptic. Jerks. They fly around like they own the settled systems, and they like to use old abandoned...
It might not be Jemison, but this ship will be like them.
As the hero of Vectera, you need your
Yes,
own
we
comic
can.
book. Your
What's the
own
matter?
cartoon. Your own.
Have things for you.
I'm sorry, heat beaches can turn into what?
Heard the cabinet scanned as you went. City entities keep moving. Okay, no bounty.
Let me guess. You missed me and you couldn't stay away.
Well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain. No need to thank me. You brought this on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your accounts now. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access. Just out the front door and across the plaza, by the embassies. Look for the Aphelion sign. Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you've done. But with all that squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats on the horizon. Any of those missions call to you? Any chance to bag some bugs, right? Well, I can provide. Let me just check my logs. Okay, these coordinates should get you to your first target. There. These missions are straightforward. Proceed to the location, kill the critter before it can do any more harm. Just be smart out there. Don't want you getting banged up too bad on your first hunt. Super et Ultra, Captain.
Move on.
This is United Colony Space. Maintain current course while we scan for contraband. And we're done.
Here to shoot the breeze?
sorry to pull you aside like this, but I wanted to take a moment to congratulate you. Taking those steps to eradicate the Terramorph threat is essential to the safety of every living thing in the settled systems. You should be proud. Yes, exactly. I'm glad you treated the situation with the urgency it deserved. I only wish that the United Colonies chose to exterminate the Terramorphs with the experimental microbe, instead of choosing this ridiculous Asili solution. Apparently, their decision was based on your recommendation. That was a risky choice you've made. Minimal risk. Are you sure? The Asili solution might take years, perhaps even decades. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking for humankind. That sounds far too risky to me. You've already seen how much destruction just a few Terramorphs can cause. While we wait for the Asilis to naturally prey upon them, we have to spend time and resources defending ourselves. How many human lives will be lost due to the wait? Why should we wall ourselves in when we could simply eradicate them in one fell swoop? The science was at our disposal, and now we've cast that aside. I fear for the future. Well, I'm disappointed that you didn't trust the science. Unfortunately, locking away the Lazarus plant instead of eliminating it adds to the risk. Anything that accelerates the Terramorph life cycle should have been completely removed from the equation. Why take the chance? I'm sorry, but yes. Your decision has denied us any type of safety net. I honestly would have preferred a more scorched earth policy to ensure the end to those horrible creatures. Of course. I wouldn't have it any other way. I appreciate the fact that you've taken the time to listen to my opinion on the matter. I'm sorry if I've hurt you in any way. I wouldn't want anything like this to come between us.
I'm so lucky. Assignment, but you all are here because you can.
Look who it is. Who knows? Probably need to cut me down and count the rings to figure it out at this point. I joined UC DRIP, Defense Research and Initiative Program, right after graduation. Worked on all kinds of projects, but I fell hard for Xenobio. Way I saw it, nature had already figured out plenty more than we ever will. So, why not just copy some of the answers? Initially, it was a lot of material sciences, using carapace to make tougher ship hulls, biofluids for helmet glass that didn't fog. But when the war started looming, top brass in the UC military had other ideas for what we should be looking into. That's where xenoweapons got started. There was a team before us, set up in some secret base somewhere, that laid down a fair bit of groundwork on the field. But when a lab accident took them down, they called on Hadrian and I to take up the mantle, set in motion everything that's come since. Oh yeah, known each other since the xenoweapons team first set up on Mars. You can imagine my shock when I walked into this place for the first time and found some plucky 19-year-old was gonna be my partner. We were supposed to be co-heads initially, but you've dealt with Hadrian. You can imagine about how long that lasted. But the Major knew her stuff. Saw potential in all her staff and knew how to get the best out of them. Kind of bull only an uncynical woman like Hadrian could pull off. For all the damage that group did, we were, well, we were real tight-knit. Having that back, it's nice. Why? You want to watch an old man squirm? What we did back then, we were trying to win a war. We used every tool we had, tools we were permitted to use at the time, to try and win it. Never said I didn't. Whole point was to create weapons so scary every Freestar Collective boy and girl would drop their arms and run home. We thought, well, we hoped it would be comparatively merciful. People just giving up instead of deploying to the battlefield. Wrong on that front too. But at least now, with the TMD, some of that work is finally being put to better ends. Makes looking back a little less painful. You heard right. These terramorph attacks, they caught the UC off guard. UC Brass doesn't like that. So, they want us patrolling the front lines of xenological life, ensure we've got intel on any possible new alien threats. Which means, we need someone to track down said aliens, and harvest samples from them. And not just any sample from these animals is gonna do either. We're trying to build a comprehensive picture here, which requires specific cells from specific family lines of some oftentimes unfriendly creatures. But since dealing with unfriendly creatures falls square in your wheelhouse, well, I figured we might be able to recruit you for the task. This isn't the same sort of harvesting you and Hadrian were doing with the Terramors. A little will go a long way here. If you can get close enough to these creatures to harvest from them directly, you should be able to collect what we need without killing them. I checked with Lieutenant Walter before heading out. A good EM weapon could serve you well on these missions. Though, if heavens forbid, there's no viable option other than putting the things down. We're only talking a select few specimens here. These populations will recover. Pretty much every beast, behemoth, critter, and chimera humanity's run across is on the list. But we can send in-house researchers after the little guys. Your job will be primarily dealing with the, more troublesome species. Glad to hear it. There is just one additional wrinkle. UC spec'd this as a one-person job, but I convinced them this sort of task merits expert backup. So, if you're interested, they've agreed to let you take Hadrian with you. You'll have to convince her, of course, but I don't think she'll fight you too badly. We could use Hadrian here, absolutely. But we have other scientists. Not a lot of other people can go up against apex predators and come home again and again. You and Hadrian are the right people for this job. Up to you, but I don't think she'd mind getting back out and doing some field work again. Now, let's get you the details of your first quarry. Here you go. Head there, find your specimens, and bring those samples back here. I'll have a tech waiting outside to... collect them from you. And remember, proximity should...
Captain, looks like we missed each other back at Mast. Listen, I just wanted to say, I could have never guessed where all this was going to lead. But now, knowing what I do, that my father truly is the monster I always thought he was. Well, I've just spent a lot of my life in pursuit of the truth. So, you bringing it straight to me, it just means a lot. Best ones certainly do. You know, I was thinking, while we were up on that podium, if I wanted to try and see him again. But I knew the answer before I even finished the thought. I didn't. Because confronting him, what would I have gained from that? From letting him remind me I can never truly be rid of him? Nothing. All I'd be doing is acknowledging that he still has some sway over my life. And while I can't do anything about his role in my past, I'm not about to let him control my future. And thanks to what we've done together, that future is brighter than it has been in a long time. Words can't do justice to how grateful I am for that. Well, I think it's safe to say you succeeded beyond anyone's wildest dreams. It's been an honor, Captain. Good luck out there. Hey, you need something? Suit yourself.
Captain on deck.
Like touching down on a cloud. Your landing skills never cease to amaze.
Yeah, what's up?
This all feels...
Restaurant. Aha.
There was a small bit of dust on your
That.
Ah, you must be the one with the samples then. I'll get these logged ASAP. If you're interested in collecting more, you can speak to Dr. Walker. Oh, and your pay? Here you are. Thank you, Captain.
I have something for you when you have a moment.
This better not be a waste of my time. Always happy to... All right, buzz off. Busy.
You don't want to pick a fight with me.
You're not from INSEC, are you? Good, because I could always use more. Go work on up.
I've seen a leech in a while. You think the city got them all?
Picked up something you might be interested in.
Get out of my face. I'd be making a fortune.
Guess what I'm not having for dinner, if you sit. Seafood? You win the prize.
Assembly complete. Craft, one batch. 1 minute starting now.
I've been working at Xeno for years, and I've only seen Danes visit the factory once.
Craft, one batch. 1 minute starting now.
see what you've made there. Smart.
Assembly complete. Shift complete.
Always nice seeing new faces. Hey, Riley. Oh no, I wonder what's over... I'm up for doing this again.
Back off.
What are you looking at?
Take it easy. Just another. You keep this up and...
when you are, Captain.
Oh, if fighting the fleet doesn't get the juices flowing, you're doing it wrong. Ah, it's supposed to be safe around here, but Cheyenne has always been just a giant bastard to me. Unless you're a native. In which case, oh my god, I love what you've done with the place. I swear, every time I come through here, something goes to shit. But it always calls me back. Take now. I'm just supposed to be doing some deliveries, and whammo! Pirates! Cheyenne's going to get me one of these days. No, not one bit. I enjoy surviving fighting pirates. Big difference. I knew it! I knew it! Damon should have told me. Her and Marco are so damned proud. I'd love to help them out. Might be I've got a checkered history with the fine city of Aquila. If you clear up any lingering hard feelings, then I could resume doing business there. I'd set up Stick-Up-His-Ass Marco as my official importer. Then wins all around. I used to do cargo hauls for the mayor, and he got really upset that I might have been carrying more than I ought to. We had some words, maybe one fat lip, not mine, and now I'm persona non grata. Well, two paths I see. The trade authorities got a fixer named Tom Starrett. He might be able to facilitate things. Or Mayor Cartwright. God, that windbag. Well, if he'd take a sorry, that would work. Fat chance. Either way, I expect credits will be on the line. On the back end, I could afford to give you a taste of the action. Not sure it'll cover the fees. Music to my ears, friend. Marco doesn't deserve you. But Simone, she's one of the good ones. You square things away. Just let Marco know.
I have.
Do you think the document...
I'm sure. They're sad. To see you go.
free for 200 years, and this city is the best the collective can come up with?
Finest folk in the settled systems make their home right here. Good to meet you, friend. Name's Elias Cartwright. I'm the mayor of Aquila City. Now, I've got a memory for faces, and I can't say I've seen yours around here before. I make it a point to introduce myself to everyone who passes through our fine city. As the founder himself once said, there's no substitute for a warm welcome and a friendly smile. Ah, that'd be Solomon Coe, who stuck a shovel in the ground right here over 160 years ago. That first settlement grew to become the city you see today. And let me tell you, it was no small hardship to make that dream a reality. Yes, indeed, this place has a proud and noble history. Why, for some of us, it's practically hallowed ground. That's why I like to meet each and every person who comes here, to make sure they know what a special place our city is. You're more than welcome. As I'm sure you know, us folk in the Freestar Collective put great stock in human kindness and generosity of spirit. I like to think that's what sets us apart from our neighbors in the United Colonies. We don't rely on machines or bureaucracy. We rely on each other. I won't pry about what brought you here. That's all of your business and none of mine. However, I'd be more than happy to give you the scoop about the core and Midtown. Midtown's where most of the business and trading gets done. It's not as old as the core, because it was built later as the city grew. As the name might suggest, Wallside's the district that runs along the inside of the Great Wall that surrounds the city. It's mostly farmers and other laborers that live down there. They ain't got quite as much space, but it's cheaper, so it all works out. Ah, you must be referring to The Rock. It's home to the largest and oldest cantina in town. That's also where the Council of Governors holds its occasional strategy meetings. As mayor of the city, I have a seat on the council. The Freestar Rangers are headquartered in the upper floors. They've got the best view of the city. I like to think that means they're always keeping an eye on the rest of us. I have to say, I sleep a little easier knowing the Marshal and his Rangers are up there protecting the Freestar Collective. You really are new around here, aren't you? Aquila's every bit as dangerous as it is beautiful. There are creatures out there that pose a mortal danger to anyone caught out in the open. Foremost among them is the Ashtar. They're quick, strong, clever, and damn good hunters. I'd tell you more, but you might not sleep so good. Thankfully, the wall keeps them out. As long as you stay on the right side of it, you've got nothing to worry about. You've got a few choices there. The cantina in the Rock is famed throughout the settled systems for serving the best brew that credits can buy. The hitching post ain't been open long, but most folks seem to like it. If you're looking for a quick drink before moving on, give it a try. Aggie's is a bit of an acquired taste, you might say. Folks who prefer a venue that's a little more rough and tumble tend to feel at home there. Like I said, lots of options. The core is the oldest district and represents the original settlement dating back to the days of Solomon Coe. The descendants of the original settlers still make their home there today.
Milena Axelrod? I wished I'd never heard that name again. She's a menace. She punched me in the face. Can you imagine? Why would you want to let her back here? Yes. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, she ran cargo for me for years. I even considered her a friend. But she stabbed me in the back. Well, not literally. But I swore to keep her banned for life. What? Oh, that's terrible. Listen, I feel for the Jansons. If it was just the fisticuffs, I could look the other way. But we caught her smuggling red-handed. She's been blacklisted for good reason. But, legally, if you pay off a bounty, I can't stop her from coming back. But we'll be watching her. I'd like to think that, but I think you may be right. Maybe we can work something out. This really is against my better judgment, but fine. She can come back. I need a drink.
All right, let's get this crate into space.
Infallible one?
Great. Now I'm more tired than... I picked up something you might be interested in.
Sorry.
I wanted you. I get all kinds in here. Take a gander.
You ask me, Trap? Just so you know.
Milena contacted me. She's making me her official importer. I'm not sure how much it pays, but I'll take it. You have no idea what you've done. I figured it might be something like that. I'll make sure to keep my distance from any of that. I can't wait to tell Simone. This is the first ray of sunshine we've seen in years.
You see any heat?
Let's be certain to stock up on some extra ammunition before we explore the wilderness around the city.
Frank's just the latest owner of the old Hassanov Manor, and he's the worst. Simply the worst. But it's been a problem since the Hassanov family ran out of heirs. There's a no wrong that Cartwrights have been trying to right for decades. And hence, well, I need help. He's just another slick, rude, neon corporate hack, full of himself and just awful. I mean, the core is history itself. Cads like him don't belong here. I was right to talk to you about this. The last Hassanov was Sahar. Sad tale there. By all accounts, when she lost her last grandchild around 40 years ago, well, it broke her. She packed up and just plain left the estate. Built some farm far from Aquila City and the protection of its walls. It didn't take long before the Ashta overran the farm, and just like that, no more Hassanovs. The Hassanovs were one of the early families that took to making a living in space. Very industrious, mainly miners. They settled planetside in the earliest days of Aquila City. They helped good old Solomon Co. a time or two, but they didn't fare well living in full gravity after a couple of generations in zero-G. Lots of health issues. Eventually, a string of just terrible luck left only lonely old Sahar Hassanov. Poor lady. And those that were healthy kept leaving Aquila. The call of the stars. A lot of folks thought the same. So I need someone to go to the old Sahar farm, brave the Ashta, and see if she left a will. I swear I'll honor her wishes. Aquila owes her family that much. And if it happens to kick Mr. Big Shot out of the core, well, that'll be a bonus. Sahar left no heirs, no instructions, so everything the Hassanovs owned was in limbo. What happened to the estate? Well, you'd have to be a lawyer to make heads or tails of it. But eventually it wound up on the open market, so slick neon corporate shills could grace our community. If she named any heir, we could get the estate back where it belongs. See things made right. You are a blessing. Sahar's farm is elsewhere on the planet. If you can't handle Ashta, please just don't go. I don't want this whole sordid story to have more tragedy. Be careful, and look out for yourself.
You sure it's safe out there? have something for you when you have a moment.
Welcome to Aquila.
Oh, have you met my boyfriend, Frank? If he seems well, it's because the
Aquila City is lucky that Hope Tech still deals with them after the reception I've gotten. I come here offering business, employment opportunities, and they practically spit in my face. I'm a senior vice president. Cut my teeth with mineral acquisitions for some of the pricier things we need for the ships. I was really looking forward to having my own region to manage. But now... Me? I did something wrong. Let me explain. So Ron Hope assigns me to Aquila City, and I'm excited, right? Could be a plum assignment. But I need a place to sleep here, so I bought some prime real estate for me and my girl. And damn it, you'd think I plowed through a sacred burial site. Listen, I'm not the one selling some priceless historical manor. That's not on me. That's just the thing, isn't it? It's not really. All the manors on the core were built by the founders. But this isn't some sort of sacred ground, right? It's just housing. And the owners before, some nobody third-tier family. But it's the core. Ha! Like I care. And give them the satisfaction? Never. Thanks for hearing me out. Hope you have a better day than I've had. You're damn right I don't. In fact, I almost feel sorry. Bunch of wrong-headed, judgmental, backward-looking dust wranglers. That's what these people are. Every credit I spent on that house, I made with honest, hard work. I come here to make my way, and this is how they treat me. I can tell they're all hoping I sell and move out, but the hell with that. I'm gonna stay here and stick it to them all. Make them suffer. I committed the great sin of buying a house. The fact it was in the core is apparently grounds for me to face a firing squad, based on the looks I've been getting. Everyone seems to think the core is some kind of sacred ground, only fit for worthy descendants of the city founders to live in. Well, real estate is real estate. I don't give a damn where it is. The place was for sale, and I bought it. I didn't cheat or do anything wrong. If people don't like it that an outsider bought one of their ancient family residences, then it's their problem and not mine. Are we... Who the who? Wait. Hassanov. You mean the family that owned this manor? Oh, hell. Elias Cartwright. That man's always had it out for me. My credits are as good as anyone else around here. I got a business proposition. 10,000 credits, and I take that alleged will off your hands. No questions asked. I paid good money to live here, and they're the ones trying to cheat me. If you start seeing sense, the offer is open.
So you sold 3 pickups today?
Yeah, might get some more on the back end. Your casserole sealed the deal.
Don't you need to wait for the contract to be signed?
This ain't the UC. We shook hands and the deal's done. Should have the contract signed tomorrow.
My cousin works for Deimos, and he says the approval process for a big deal can take months.
That's life under the boot for you. Business keeps going this good, and it'll make dealing with these pretentious cord jerks worth it. I don't suppose you still have that will handy, hmm? It was good to talk to someone civilized.
Like I said, be careful. I'd rather you forget the whole Hassan. You got it! That's wonderful! But Blake Aldwell... Wait, let me think back. There was a Blake. Might be we can track him or any surviving kin down. I'll get my lawyer on this. Frank Langston's in for a rude surprise. And we can maybe see a Hassanov return back to the core. They helped make the Freestar Collective. If they have living heirs, well, it's more than I could have hoped for. You've more than earned this. You've done the city a great service.
Another dead rock. Well, at least we can scour the place for materials.
Hey. Hey. You need something? Okay, I'm listening. What's going on? Things are good. It's nice to see the place cleaned up again. Brings back a lot of old memories. Been great so far. I'm happy to be working with Percival again. I think the TMD's set up to make a real difference in the settled systems. I'm honored to be a part of it. Backup? What does that have to do with me? Maybe. Why do you ask? Come with you? You can't be serious. There's no way Percival would okay that. I have important work to do here with the TMD. No, it's not that. You just caught me by surprise. I figured I'd be at the TMD for the long haul. I mean, I do too, but leaving the TMD? That's a big decision. I guess you're right. I always imagined that future would be here at the TMD, but, well, maybe a change of scenery wouldn't be so bad. Besides, Percival will never let me forget it if I turn down field work in favor of a desk job. If you really need backup out there, I'll watch your six. You can count on me to pull my weight. I'll always help out in combat, and I'm happy to assist you with any research, too. Having an extra xenosociologist around on this assignment sure couldn't hurt. We'll be dealing with plenty of hostile creatures. Yeah, I think so, too. Thank you for the offer. Really. It was unexpected, but I think this will be for the best. Both for me and for the settled systems. I'll head out soon. I just need to talk to Percival before I go. He's gonna get an earful for arranging this without talking to me about it first. See you, Captain.
We should stick to the main plaza, unless you like getting saved by the rain.
Haven't seen a leech in a while.
Just another... Good. Go work another...
Don't go causing trouble.
Picked up something you might be interested in.
Step through the door of Seahart's outfit. Each of our unique stories to get to where
I used to be an actor.
one batch. 1 minute starting now.
Fine. Way off shift. Time to swing by LeGrand.
Craft, 1 batch. 1 minute starting now. Assembly complete. Craft, 1 batch. 1 minute starting now.
I see what you put together there. Clever. Very clever.
Assembly complete.
Ugh, they don't pay me enough to stick my hands in fish guts all day.
It's a living, right? Hey, Riley. Oh no, I wonder what's... I'm up for doing this again.
No problem.
You're out there a lot, right?
If you're wondering what that
Good?
Keep it
You look
moving.
like you'll keep this up and...
I have something for you when you have a moment.
Just here for a chat?
Where the hell did you learn to do? Let's pop into Outland while we're here, and see if Joe has anything useful to add to our arsenal. Mind bunking on the ship, but nothing is better than unwinding in your own quarters.
The Freestar Rangers. You did their dirty work and then some. So how'd you feel wearing the badge? Well, good on you. It takes a certain type of person to thrive there. Me, I never cared much for being a ranger. Too many of them try to force the world to be only black and white when it's anything but. Take Ron Hope. I mean, the guy's a legend. Before him, Polvo was a desperate, depressing place. Everything he did was to keep his people employed, to keep Hope Tech standing in a backstabbing world of megacorp politics. I really hope you're wrong. But you probably aren't. Tough call on what to do with Ron Hope. Taking his hush money wouldn't have set right with me. But I wonder what's gonna happen to Hopetown without him. So you stuck by your principles. As much fun as it is being a ranger, I hope you can start focusing on Constellation business. There's plenty of mysteries left in the good old Milky Way to discover. I could really bend your ear when you got a moment. The whole Terramorph situation, seriously, hats off to you. When I was growing up, everyone was afraid of Terramorphs. How they could seemingly strike anywhere at any time. The carnage, the destruction. The stuff you've done here could save so many lives. Hey, it's me. If you can't brag a little to your friends, who can you brag to? I don't know about these Aseles. That microbe would wipe out the Terramorphs for good and certain. I mean, the Aseles, It'll take longer, take more hand-holding, and there's no saying the Asili's will fully get the job done. I hope for all our sake you made the right call. When you put it like that, I guess I see your point. The United Colonies. Hell, everyone and everywhere owes you big time. Even if they don't know it. Where to begin? That temple? The hell was that? I've been from one end of the settle systems to the other more times than I could count. But I've never, and I mean never, encountered something like that. Who built it? Why? So many questions. Maybe? For centuries we've been looking for something definitive that says we're not alone out here. I just can't see the UC, Freestar Collective, or House Varun building that thing. The temple. Or maybe it's just some crazy gazillionaire's party temple. The ultra-rich do some seriously crazy things. Somehow I doubt it. Yeah, no pressure. And what you can do? I am not a scientist, not in the least. But that ability, power, is just plain scientifically impossible. Then who is capable of something like that? Forget about me, how are you? I mean, whatever happened, it could have deep physiological effects. I hope not mental. And even if everything's perfect, still, I can't imagine what's going through your head. That's not disturbing. No, not at all. The other Constellation members are gonna lose their minds once they hear about this. Assuming they even believe us.
Your investigation with the Freestar Rangers has come to an end. Are you satisfied with the results? I suppose not. This Ron Hope, supposedly a man of the people, was more concerned with profit than lives. He was not the first, and certainly will not be the last. Surprised? No. Just disappointed. Another who chose greed over all else. At least he will no longer be able to prey on others. I am unsure that death was preferable to justice. But at least the situation is over, and there is no question who was to blame. Fair enough. I will certainly not miss him. And now you can consider yourself a ranger in full. I think less of the badge and more of the person wearing it. But you should be proud of your accomplishments. Shall we find some other adventure to occupy us now? I have things I wish to discuss with you. When you have time. It is a relief to know that the Terramorphs are being dealt with. But are you sure this Aseles creature is the right way to do it? I can understand that line of thinking, but even when talking about a species like the Terramorph, this decision means the Terramorphs will remain a threat for years to come, if not longer. And that is assuming it works at all. It is too soon to know, and at least something is being done. Any effort is better than none. And I must say, I find it curious that you would agree keeping the Lazarus plant around is a good idea. It seems an additional, unnecessary risk. But you could have changed their minds. They would have listened to you. At least the Freestar Collective will also know of its existence. Otherwise, I worry it would be too tempting for the UC to use as a weapon. Well, it is good to know that this particular threat is behind us, and you have done a service to all who live in the settled systems. We have not yet had a moment to talk about what happened to you at that place. Temple? I am not sure what to call it. In all my time amongst the stars, I have never heard of such a thing. What do you think that place was? Nor I suspect anyone else who has ever lived. Is that presuming too much? Certainly it is too soon to speculate about who built it, but how can we not? After what you experienced, do you have any insights? You sound just like Sarah. I see why she invited you to join Constellation. You are right, of course. We will learn in time. I am sorry. After what you have been through, I should be asking about you. Are you all right? Have you felt any side effects? Was there... A cynical person might suggest that in itself could be a side effect. But for now, we will just assume you have been very fortunate. The artifacts, that temple, this new ability you have acquired. Clearly they are all connected. This is all so much bigger than we realized. You are right. Now we have even greater reason to press forward. To learn more about what is at work here.
Never a better time than right now to settle down and make New Atlantis home. If you're a citizen, of course. Well, well, if it isn't the United Colony's newest Class 1 citizen. You've made quite a name for yourself in New Atlantis. In fact, the higher-ups want to thank you for your dedicated service by giving you one of the nicest pieces of real estate in the city. It's a premium penthouse at the top of Mercury Tower. Best location in New Atlantis, in my professional opinion.
What do you say? It'll just take a second to get you registered as the owner.
Great! You're in for a real treat. It's one of my favorite apartments in the city. Okay, you're all set. Your new home's located in Mercury Tower in the residential district. You'll love the place. It has a gorgeous floor plan and an unbeatable view of the city. Now that you're an owner, I'm sure I'll be seeing you around town.
This space is a
Informed us of your new status. Congratulations.